Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. This week we have a cheeky monkey christening cake complete with vines. Here I've got a 7-inch round already covered in a powder blue colour. I have all the tutorials you need to get to this step linked below, from filling, stacking and ganaching to covering paste and creating sharp edges. The paste I've used is white couture and it's been coloured with a small lump of Renshaw's blue paste. We are placing a 5-inch cake on top, so we're using 5 supports around the outside and 1 in the centre. You just measure the height of your cake and cut them all the same size. To glue the next tier on, you can use ganache, melted chocolate or royal icing. Next, carefully place your 5-inch cake on top. This is covered in a slightly lighter shade of blue. I often get asked how high my cakes are. They vary depending on how high they rise in the oven, but these tiers are just under 6 inch in height, and it's the secret to a nice tall grand looking cake. Cover the board in the same pale blue as the top tier using the toilet seat method. Links for the full in-depth tutorial are in the description box. Now measure the circumference of the top tier. This will help you to roll out a strip that's long enough. I've used a very pale brown, cut a strip and rolled it up so it's easier to handle. It might be tempting to start at the back, but start at the front slightly off to the right. A bow will eventually cover the join. Unroll it all the way around and flatten it down with a smoother. If you get any small straggly bits, you can remove them easily with a scalpel. Small quick fixes like this can really clean up a design if you have the time. Now the band is on, we can see where to place the text and make sure it's not too high or low. Cut a piece of greaseproof paper to the size you'd like your text. This will help when tracing the name on to make sure you don't make it too large for the tier. There are lots of fonts installed on your PC, but if you want something different, head to defont.com. I've linked it below for you. Once you have your chosen name, secure it to the front with acupuncture needles. Trace over the name to leave an impression to follow. Here I've got my favourite gold lustre in a shot glass, which have come in really handy for mixing lustres and paints. I have lemon extract in a dropper bottle, which I add bit by bit for the right consistency. I've left those linked below too. With a fine paintbrush, follow the lines for a chic hand-painted name or message. This one is only a non-toxic paint and is super easy to remove. See my lava tutorial for a demonstration. There are fully edible golds, but I've still yet to find one that doesn't streak and offers good coverage and colour. Now you're going to need quite a few strings of white paste that taper off to a point. With a wet paintbrush, create a path to follow that flows down in a slight wiggle shape. Stick the string on, cutting it flush with the top edge. For tiny leaves, roll a small teardrop shape, flatten it and then score down the centre with a Dresden tool. Stick these on in pairs up the vine, getting slightly bigger towards the top. Then add more vines varying in length and wiggle shape all around the tier. It takes a little longer than you think, so allocate plenty of time. For the bow, roll out your pale brown paste. I've only added a very small amount of Tylo to this as it's prone to cracking. Cut out a long strip and fold the two ends to meet. This is how big the bow is. To narrow it into a chunkier, cuter style bow, cut off some of the length. Keep checking until you're happy with the size. Dampen the centre and the two ends. Push the very middle up and two ends up so it creates a type of concertina effect, or like that fancy bow-shaped pasta you can buy. Do the same with the ends, it kinda looks like an M shape. The centres won't stick as there's no water on the back, so just dampen them. Dampen the middle and stick each end down, flattening it a little. For a quick centre, roll 3 strings of paste and align them, pinching the ends into points. This will wrap over the centre once we lift it. Dampen the join on the band and wrap the centre over the bow, squeezing it behind. Sit this on the ledge before opening up and shaping the bow with a Dresden tool. Once in position, add some water behind it and gently stick it into place. The monkey's body is in the same colour, but with Tylo added to hold its shape. Roll this into a large teardrop shape and sit it on top. Insert a kebab skewer down the middle and into the cake to secure it, leaving a little above for the head. The legs and arms are sausages with the ends left rounded. Stick these to the body and cake with water. To give the arms a bit of movement, roll up some kitchen roll or grab some sponges and support them slightly angled out until they dry. For his belly patch, I'm using a much lighter brown, cut into a teardrop with the point flattened off. I'm working to Leandro's favourite monkey teddy, so feel free to change and personalise yours. For the head, I'm using a small polystyrene ball to help with the weight and a larger ball of brown paste. Push the ball inside, bringing the paste up and around it before rolling it between your hands to get rid of the cracks and creases. Push an indent partway across the head so he has a slight muzzle and almost a soft egg-shaped head. Push a kebab stick up inside the polystyrene so it creates a path. This should then slide down the stick that's already in the body. His face patch is almost a circle with 2 humps marked in at the top. Gently pat this down and around the muzzle. A dark brown oval makes a nose and 2 dots for eyes. And then, as always, those small white ones for catch lights. Ears are the mid-brown with the lighter brown pushed down on top of it. Mark the centre with the Dresden tool and squeeze it to a point. Add these to either side of the head with water. His tail is a long sausage curled into shape. And finally, for his smile, I'm using dark brown gel colour, slightly watered down and painted with a fine paintbrush. You can add a message to the board. Here I'm using tappets. I have a foolproof tutorial on using these, which I'll link below. Once you know the secret, you'll be popping letters out in no time. Here I have them lined up where I want them and I'm just securing them into place with water. A final touch, if you like, is to bring some brown onto the bottom tier by adding dots around the vines. And we're done. A simple design perfect for a birthday or a christening. Use baby's favourite soft toy to personalise it. We did vines for the monkey, but you could maybe add bows for a bear or even carrots for a rabbit. If you like this tutorial, feel free to give it a thumbs up. It all helps towards YouTube's algorithm. And leave me a comment below. What animal would you make? Thanks to all my regular watchers, and if any of you are new here, click that subscribe and bell button to see new tutorials each Tuesday. Thanks guys!